JMS Flower Farms has been helping grape growers protect their vines from insects and fungal diseases with their exclusive product, JMS Stylet Oil, since 1992. Visit www.styleitoil.com today.
Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with American Vineyard Magazine, reporting to you from the San Joaquin Valley Table Grape meeting put on by the California Table Grape Commission. Among the subjects addressed today was black widow spider control in the vineyard. Although the spider has no effect on the quality of the fruit, it can give consumers quite a scare when found in a bunch at the supermarket. And that's something we want to avoid. And here's Kent Daane from the UC Cooperative Extension to address monitoring and control of this pest.
So what happens is when the harvest crew goes through, they look for a place to hide if they actually happen to be up above. That's when they go in the grape cluster. They prefer to be down below. That's where their nest is.
Today we talked about black widow spider control. This is not a pest of the vineyards per se, but what happens is the spider occasionally, rarely, will get inside the table grape cluster. And even rarer, but sometimes it does happen that it makes it to the marketplace. So what we want to do is try to bring that population down to near zero levels. This means we probably have to apply an insecticide, something that will kill the spider. The problem with this approach is that the spider is very cryptic in nature. It's nocturnal, it doesn't want to be around people, it doesn't want to be around equipment. So what it does is it hides inside its nest, someplace on the vine itself. So as the spray rig goes down, it's not out feeding on the leaf like you might find leafhoppers doing. It's inside its nest. It's someplace where the insecticide has a hard time reaching it. So we're looking at two things. We're looking at the contact materials, what works when you get it onto the spider itself, and we're looking at residual materials. What works when it contacts the bark, the leaf, and then later the spider walks over that surface, and that's how it dies. So what we found is that the pyrethroids, especially danitol, baythroid, and brigade, work very well as a contact, as do the older materials, lannate and lorsban. But those older materials have some use restrictions. So what we're doing right now is we're focusing on the contact effectiveness with the brigade, the baythroid, and the danitol. All of those materials really give about 100% control if you get it on the spider. The danitol and the brigade give 100% control even as a residual. We did this trial, we looked at bark sprayed with danitol and brigade 7 days, 14 days, 21, 28, and 35 days after application, and we were still getting fairly strong spider control. The issue still is how do we get the spider to contact that bark, to contact that leaf surface where the material was applied. We're also looking at where those spiders come from. Are they ballooning into the vineyard after the spray time? So with our sprays, we were putting them on typically around April, sometimes May. We're getting very good control for about a month, 6 weeks, even 8 weeks. And then in July, that population of spiders really started to increase. So what we want to do now is to find out if we can move that window of spray timing later in the season, where we can get better control throughout harvest, and where those spiders are coming from. Is that a population within the vineyard, or are these spiders ballooning in from someplace else? And that'll be next year's studies.
Thank you, Kent. Learn more about the topics addressed at today's meeting by reading the coming issue of American Vineyard Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.